Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel English by Nisa. In today's video, we are going to see Degree 3rd Sem Unit 2 Toasted English Summary, which is written by R.K. Narayan. This essay, Toasted English, is taken from Narayan's collection of essays titled Reluctant Guru, which published in 1974. So, before going to the summary, let's know about the author, which is R.K. Narayan. So, R.K. Narayan is an Indo-Anglican writer of 19th century. He published about 60 books in his writing career of 60 years. Most of his novels are set in an imaginary semi-urban South Indian town which called Malgudi that he himself created, which is a fictional world created by R.K. Narayan in his stories. And R.K. Narayan received numerous awards and honors, including the Sahitya Academy Award, Padma Bhushan, and Padma Vibhushan. Many of his stories and novels were adapted into films and television serials. Now, let us see the introduction to this toasted essay. So, this essay, Toasted English, is taken from Narayan's collection of essay titled Reluctant Guru, published in 1974. During his stint as a visiting professor at an American university during 1969, he observed how Americans have adopted British English to suit their needs. So, here in this essay, he differentiates American English from the British English by the process of toasting. And he also described the functioning of the language of the English in three countries, that is, America, Britain, and India. So now let's start our summary toasted English. First of all, we'll see why this the essay name is toasted English. R.K. Narayan refers toasted English to muffins which are bread made cups. So Americans like the toasted muffins of England. In the same way, even after the British left the United States of America, the Americans like to use their language English. The only thing is that they use it after toasting. According to author, leaving the formalism of British English is the toasting. Means according to their convenience they mold the English language and according to their convenience they use it. So that is the form is called toasting. So American brought about some changes in the language and they practically left the passive form and long description of things using more words. Instead of that, they use the basic keywords after toasting it and use the active voice. The simple words they started to use. So while explaining writing this essay, he cites some examples. Like he gave one example: the English language used by the British and the Indians contain a lot of formalism. Americans are more straightforward in their use of English and they do not use too many words. R.K. Narayan says that Indian authorities use a 20 line inscription instead of one or two words as used by the Americans. So R.K. Narayan says that when the Americans write a notice, they use the simple words. They do not use too many words. R.K. Narayan says that Indian authorities use a 20-line inscription instead of one or two words as used by the Americans. When Americans write notice, they write in the active voice. The Britishers and the Indians write notices in the passive voice. For example, the American write newly planted do not walk or absolutely no barking. The British is confined to the meaning of the dictionary, whereas the Americans are more free in the use of their words. He gave another example like according to R.K. Narayan, words in English differ from country to country. He cites some examples like in a London bus, if the conductor says thank you means please take your ticket once, one pay for the ticket. So the conductor again says thank you after taking the ticket. When he say excuse me, which means passes on the next passenger. But in India, the bus conductor cries out ticket ticket. So these differences has shown by the R.K. Narayan through this essay. So which means the conductor uses a polite words when issuing tickets. So the author called these words as a toasted form of English. So here the language is toasted for the easy use of the people. So the Americans have abandoned formalism and passive voice. And some words are used in America for multi-purpose usage. Words like check in, check out, fabulous, etc. They made these words for their easy purpose, different purposes, and multi-purpose usage. So here we can see that he is not favorable towards the formalism surrounded the use of British English. For example, the usage of passive voice is not favored by the author. He says things must be clear, certain, and they have the certain keywords used by the Americans can apply it anywhere. Author, which is R.K. Narayan, is not favorable toward the formalism surrounded by the use of British English. For example, the usage of passive voice is not favored by the author. He says things must be clear. Certain keywords used by the Americans can be applied anywhere, while the Britishers confined the usage of words to their dictionary definitions. And towards the end of the essay, the writer clearly says that he does not support mongrelization of English, that is, cross-breeding. However, he says that English must adopt the complexion of our life and assimilate its idiom. So he is seriously thinking about Bharat brand of English. So, what is the meaning of Bharat brand? Bharat brand is nothing but it means to have certain native words mixed up with the English. This can be called a Bharat brand of English. How the American mix up some words according to their convenience and called it as toasted English. In the same way, RK Narayans want our native term should be mixed in the English and make it as a Bharat brand of English. So here R.K. Narayan wants to call the English language used by the Indians as Bharat brand of English. So R.K.'s vision is that a day will come when a new brand of English will emerge from India, and this will be called Bharat brand of English. So he says that here a day will come for the Indians to speak English with Swadeshi stamp. In those emerging days, a common man in India will speak English, which once upon a time was used only in the administrative level and in the university and in the courts of law. But he said nowadays have changed. English has now entered the social life of every citizen and is now found in all the walk of life. So the man in the dusty street and under the banyan tree should feel the need of English language. And he also said a day will come when the common Indian sitting under the banyan tree and walking through the dusty street of India will speak English fluently. So, according to Narayan, the Indian brand of English should have a firm grip over grammar and should bear a native stamp. So, here, thus, R.K. Narayan wants a new brand of English in India, which called the Bharat brand of English. So, this is all about toasted English summary. I hope it would be helpful for you. Best of luck for your exam. Stay tuned for the next SAM videos. Best of luck for your exam.